Howdy, partners. Welcome back to Buddy in Town, where we explore the weird, wild, and wonderful side of Texas. Now, y'all know Texas is known for its big hair, big trucks, and even bigger personalities, but hold on to your hats, folks, because today we're diving headfirst into the Lone Star State's weirdest laws still on the books. We're talking head-scratching, knee-slapping regulations that'll make you say, "You've got to be kidding me." Get ready for some serious only-in-Texas moments as we uncover the strange and hilarious side of Texas law. From shooting buffalo to sipping suds, we're about to take a hilarious journey through the legal loopholes and historical quirks that make Texas so unique. So buckle up, buttercup, and get ready for a rootin'-tootin' good time. First up, we're moseying on over to the great state of Texas, where apparently shooting a buffalo from the second story of a hotel is a big no-no. Now, I reckon most of us ain't in the habit of having a showdown with a buffalo from a hotel window, but back in the day, this law had a purpose. Picture this, it's the Wild West. Cowboys are riding high and buffalo roam free, even in the bustling town squares. Well, imagine checking into your hotel room for some peace and quiet, only to have some rootin'-tootin' cowboy deciding to use the local buffalo herd for target practice. Not exactly the kind of room service you'd expect, right? So, the next time you find yourself in a Texas hotel with an itch to practice your sharpshooting, maybe stick to the target range, partner, and leave the buffalo out of it. Hold your horses, folks, because this next one's a real thirst quencher. In Texas, it's illegal to take more than 3 sips of beer while standing. That's right, you heard me correctly. Now, I ain't sure who came up with this law, but they clearly ain't never been to a Texas BBQ or football tailgate. Imagine trying to enjoy a cold one on a sweltering Texas summer day and having to count your sips. 1 sip, 2 sips, 3 sips. Gulp. Looks like you better find yourself a rocking chair or a shady spot under a pecan tree if you want to finish that brew. I reckon this law is meant to encourage folks to slow down and savor their beverages, but let's be honest, it's just plain quirky. Now, this next law really pliers on the absurdity. In Texas, you need a valid reason to own a pair of pliers. That's right, those handy-dandy tools that can fix just about anything. Well, in the Lone Star State, they ain't just tools, they're practically contraband. Imagine walking into a hardware store and having to explain yourself to the cashier just because you need to tighten a screw or two. Hold on there, partner, what you need those pliers for? You fixing to build a time machine or something? I reckon this law is probably meant to prevent folks from using pliers for nefarious purposes. But it sure does make you wonder what kind of pliers-wielding shenanigans were going on back in the day. Now, you all know Texas is known for its fishing holes, but hold on to your hats, folks, because in the Lone Star State, you can't catch a fish with your bare hands. That's right, no noodling allowed in these parts. I reckon this law is meant to protect our finned friends from any unnecessary harm. But it sure does make you wonder about the folks who tried it before. Can you imagine chasing a catfish through the murky waters of the Brazos River with nothing but your bare hands? So the next time you're itching to catch some supper, remember to pack your fishing pole and leave your hands out of the water. Now, this next law is a real head-scratcher. In the great city of Texarkana, if you're cruising around in a car from before 1950, you better make sure that taillight is shining bright. That's right, folks, this law specifically targets those vintage vehicles that add a touch of nostalgia to our roads. Imagine getting pulled over by a friendly Texarkana police officer and hearing, "Sir, I'm going to have to write you up for that there faulty taillight. Seems your classic car ain't quite up to code with our modern-day regulations." I reckon this law's a quirky reminder of a bygone era when cars were simpler and taillights were, well, optional. Last but not least, we're talking cheese, folks, but not just any cheese. We're talking Limburger cheese. Now, I know what you're thinking, Limburger cheese. What in tarnation is that? Well, let me tell you, it's a cheese with a smell that can knock your socks off, and in Texas it's illegal to sell this pungent delicacy on a Sunday. That's right, if you're craving a Limburger sandwich on the Sabbath, you're out of luck. I reckon this law is meant to keep the peace on a day of rest. Because let's be honest, no one wants to be subjected to the aroma of Limburger cheese when they're trying to enjoy their Sunday morning coffee. So if you're a fan of this stinky cheese, make sure to stock up on Saturday, because come Sunday, Limburger's off the menu. Well, folks, there you have it. 6 of the craziest laws in Texas that'll make you wonder if lawmakers were dipping into the sweet tea a little too much. Which one of these wacky regulations left you speechless? Drop a comment below and let me know. Don't forget to give this video a big old Texas-sized thumbs up and subscribe to Buddy in Town for more hilarious and quirky content. And remember, folks, whether you're shooting buffalo from a hotel window or trying to sell Limburger cheese on a Sunday, always keep it quirky, Texas.